Hello everyone and welcome back to Source Coder Hub. In this video, I want to show you how to update a post. Now, updating a post is probably harder than creating and deleting a post. So therefore, I've dedicated updating a post to one video. Now, at some point, we will need to update a post. Maybe we need to update the author's name or something in the description of the post. In order to update a post, we need to be in the post list. So let's open that file. And here, after the author's name, we'll add an edit button and we'll wrap it with a link. And we're going to go back to the top and we're going to import link from React Router DOM. And remember, we mapped through multiple posts to get a single post distinguished by its ID. So when we click on edit, we need to indicate which post we want to update. So here in link, we need to indicate where we want to link to. And we can create that using JSX. So we will need to include the name of the route as well as the ID. We'll use a template literal or string to create that. So here we start by typing our curly braces. So inside we need to include our backticks and we need to type in the route we're going to use, which we'll name edit post. And we're going to create that in a few minutes. And we'll also type here a / and include again another JSX for the post ID. And when the user clicks on the edit button, we want to direct the user to the edit post route using the ID of the post that was selected. But that route doesn't exist yet because we didn't register it in app.js. So let's go over and set that up now. Now, before we can actually set up the route, we need to know which component it's going to lead to once the user clicks on the link. And in our case, the edit route is going to go to a component that we're going to call edit post. So before we create the route, let's create that component first. Here in components, we're going to create edit posts. We can use the shortcut snippet to create the post. Okay, so let's save that and then we can go back over and we can create the route for that. And we can just copy this line and paste it. And we will call that edit post. And the name. And let's see if it uses IntelliSense to import it. There it is. Should be imported at the top. There we go. And now that route is created. The edit post component will look very similar to this home page component that we created, but without the list below the form. We also need a user interface for editing a post, which is a form. We could build an entirely new form component and name it edit form. But we already have a component that has the HTML that we need, which is this post form. And you may think, wasn't that used to create a post? Well, yes, but in React, we can reuse components for multiple purposes. The UI will look exactly the same as when you're creating a post, except the fields will be editable. So let's adjust this edit post since it's going to be similar to the home page. And we can use the same class, which is center. It's a section, center, class name. And just like the home page, we're going to import the post form. And our IntelliSense is not working, so we're going to manually import post form and then use it here. Post form. In the edit post, the post form component serves a different purpose. Remember, we use this link to direct users to this edit post from the route. So now this post form is going to be the user interface for editing the post. But we need to actually have the post that we want to edit. So we want to pass an existing selected post to the post form in order to edit it. And how do we get the ID of the post that was selected from the post list? How do we get this ID and send it over to the edit post? Remember that when we click on that edit post, the ID will be in the URL, and we can use another hook that is called useParams to capture that ID. Unfortunately, useParams is part of React Router DOM, which was already installed. So all we need to do is import it at the top of edit post. And let's do that. Import useParams from React Router DOM. And then we can use it or initiate it, useParams, and we will get, we'll be getting the ID from useParams, and we're going to save it in a variable that we're going to call post ID. Now we want to find that post by ID. In order to perform that search, we need the useSelector hook. So let's import that into this component, useSelector, and we're going to feed state in as an argument. Type in the name of the slice post and the name of initial state, which is entries. And we're going to store those post entries in a variable named post. Next, we'll search through these posts in the store by using the find method and locate the ID of the post matching the ID of the selected post that we retrieved from the URL. We'll save this in a variable that we'll name selected posts. So here in selected post, we're going to search through posts in the store using the find method. And we're going to look for the post ID and look for the post that matches the post ID that was selected. Now we actually have the selected post from the store. So that's selected post. And we can send that selected post over to the post form. And so notice that we use the find method and not find index. Initially, we need the index. We need the index, the ID, to get the match. When we pass the selected post, over to post form, we want to access all the properties from the selected post to display in the fields of the post form so that we can edit them. So now let's head over to the post form. And here we receive the selected post as an argument. And this, again, is the post that we clicked on here in the edit post. When we click the edit post, it sends us to the edit post component. And the edit post component displays a form where we're able to send over that selected post to the post form. So here, post form is working double duty. We're using it to create posts as well as update posts. So let's explain this further. So initially, when we're creating a post, local state is empty. And that's how the form loads when we create a post. And when the user creates a post, the changes are stored in local storage, and then the changes are sent to the Redux store using Dispatch. So going back up, local storage is also taking on an expanded role. When the user clicks on the edit button and the selected post is sent over to the post form, we want this data to replace what's in the local state. So if there are selected posts and we're using the ternary operator to check, display the properties, otherwise no post will display. So again, what we're essentially saying is if a user selects a post from the list of posts, selected post gets passed to the post form of the edit post component. However, if the user has not selected a post from the list, it means that the post form is being used in the capacity of creating a new post. Now we also need to go down and update the handle submit. The handle submit is being used to dispatch a new post to the global store. So if it's a selected post, so we're going to create a variable for updated post. And where are we going to get that? Of course, we're going to get it from, our form data, because the form data has the updated information. So here we update the ID with form data ID, and we update name, form data name, and the description we update it with form data description, and the author form data author. And we need to also again use dispatch the update action with the updated post. Now the last thing we need to do is update our button. So let's go down to our button. So right now we're displaying a create button, but let's change the button based on what we're doing to the post. So if we have here a selected post, which was sent over to be edited, then we want it to display an update button. However, if it is a new post, then we want it to display the create button. So finally, we'll want to update the instructions in the post slice. To get all the previous posts, we want to look at all the post entries in state and then filter for post entries by ID that do not match the action payload's ID. And what we get are all the previous posts, excluding the action payload, the updated post. And here we're updating state, and it's an array, and we'll include the previous post spread out and add the updated action payload as a new post at the end. And I am going to create a new post called 222, new post description 222, and new post author 222. Create. So far, so good. Not working. Let's see what the problem is. Let's go over to the inspector, the console, and we see here that there is no route to match this location. There's no route for this. So that means that there is an issue here in our route. Right away, we see that the issue is that there is no ID for that route. Now let's go back. And get rid of that. Let's try it again. We're going to create a new post for 1,000. A new post description for 1,000. And we forgot the author. Let's not include him. And now we're going to edit. New post description. We're missing the new post name here. So first of all, let's just see if this works. I'm going to add a new post author here. 1,000. Okay, now I'm going to edit it and I'm going to name it 1. Great. So there, like I said, the name is missing. We have the post list, which is the page title. Then we have the description and the author, but we're missing the name. So let's just go back over to our application. And in this list, let's see what we're calling this. We're calling it title, and it should be name. So let's save it. And there is the title. Let's try another one. New post name, new post description, new post author, create. And let's edit this, and let's call it my post name, my post description, and my post title. Everything looks good. So this is great and it's working. The only thing is this data will not persist. If I reload the application, all of our posts in the post list disappear. So in our next video, we're going to fix this with a few simple adjustments to the Redux store. So with that, here's where we'll end our video today. If you found value in this tutorial so far, don't forget to like and share this video. Also, subscribe to the channel and hit the notifications bell button. If you want to be the first to know, connect to the Hub, Source Coder Hub's community. Thank you for joining me, and I'll see you in the next video.